All right, it's morning at our ryokan in Kanazawa. We're just heading down for breakfast now. I am anticipating it to be very nice. Lacey's already headed down there, so we're gonna go catch up with her. So this is the breakfast room at the ryokan. Most ryokan will do breakfast, but not everyone will do dinner. And speaking of, here is our breakfast now. So this is breakfast. We got some rice, we got some local vegetables whose name they weren't able to translate, and I can't remember it now, but it is a leafy vegetable from the local Kanazawa area. Some miso soup, one gigantic tamagoyaki, some pickled carrots and cucumbers. There will be some fish in a little bit here, but unfortunately we were a little bit ahead of the game this morning and got here just a little bit before everything was ready. Well, that was a nice little ryokan. I would very much like to come back here again. Apparently, it was one of the first ryokan to allow foreigners, I think I heard them say, and they were really great. They were actually the ones who recommended us to come to Ippei for sushi last night, which we're actually just passing right now. You know, I feel a little bit silly about last night's dinner because I deliberately left my phone behind because I didn't want to take photos or do any video shooting because I thought that was one of those taboos. But when we sat down, I immediately saw the Wi-Fi SSID and password. So I guess they're not that uptight about it. They seem to be okay with it. There was a couple of guys there laughing and drinking and on their phones too. So anyway, now we're on our way off to Kyoto. Kanazawa, we hardly knew ye. I would definitely plan to come back here for more than 24 hours, I guess, because we haven't even been here for that long, have we?
Nope, we have not.
So, next time we'll do at least 2 days here.
入ってください、お客様。危ないですよ。
Okay, I got one of these because I just had to know what the energy jelly is all about. Legend says that if you have one of these on a train, an anime man will appear. The jelly? Doko desu ka? One thing you're going to hear me say a lot while we're in Kyoto is last time we were here there was a typhoon, and this is not going to be a different one. For the first one, we're in Kyoto Station now, and last time we were here there was a typhoon and it blew a hole in the ceiling, and it's a lot livelier than it was back then. We are in Kyoto now. It's friggin' beautiful, a little too beautiful. In fact, the sky has cleared up, the sun is out, but that of course means now we have the hot summer Japanese sun beating down on us. There is an upside though. We are arriving now at Kei's house, which is the hostel we normally stay at, except as it turns out, Lacey and I are again the only people here, which brings up a very interesting opportunity for us. Because they didn't want to open up the entire hostel just for 2 guests, they've given us the opportunity to stay in what they call Kei's Villa, which is just a guest house down the street about 8 minutes. And let's just say it's a bit of an upgrade. Let's go take a look. We're just on the side of one of the canals. And we're over here. Oops, I overshot a bit. All right, let's take a look inside here. So here is our lovely little hostel room. Yep, little hostel room. This villa has a dining room. It's got a kitchen. I'm hoping to use that myself a little bit later. We have, of course, our own fridge and toaster oven and amenities. We have our own private shower. We have an upstairs. We have a little tatami sitting room. Ooh. And the bedroom. A couple of futons already out. So like I said, this is a bit of an upgrade from the expected hostel we were expecting. It is friggin' nice, but the only downside is it means that tourism hasn't really come back to Kyoto. Which of course also means one of my favorite aspects of hosteling we don't get access to, which is other people, other travelers. We won't get to just sit on the rooftop and talk to people. We won't get to just meet people in the bar and hang out and talk and find out where they're from, hear their stories and why they're traveling. But you win some, you lose some. Time to get some damn culture in this blazing heat. Now the rain is gone, we forgot about all that sunlight. And holy crap, we're at Kiyomizu-dera Temple. That is one of the big draws for Kyoto, a city that's already full of temples and big monuments. And I have to come all the way up the hill on foot and then up some stairs in that heat. I am very warm, but it is pretty cool up here. I am now at the overlook of Kiyomizu-dera. Last time I didn't get to see this, and contrary to what I've said about the other places, it's not because it was hit by the typhoon last time. Last time the place was just undergoing a massive refurbishment and rebuild. So the entire place was covered in scaffolding. So now I get to see it for the first time in all of its glory. Like most cities in Japan, Kyoto is a strange mix of ultra-modern, high-end fashion and big towers with traditional narrow alleyways, much like this one. But there's also kind of an odd mix sometimes. For instance, this building, as traditional and quaint and quiet as it looks, that, my friends, is a Starbucks. We're about to enter Fushimi Inari, a shrine dedicated to the god Inari, who is a god of rice and wealth, because as you may understand from me, if you have wealth, you have food. If you have food, you have wealth. Because let's face it, if I was ever wealthy, first thing I would do, besides getting an impenetrable fortress, is buy a lot of food and eat a lot of it until I couldn't move. Anyway, we're here to check this out. This is one of the tourist sites that you've probably definitely seen on other videos, on pictures, hell, on every tourist guide of Kyoto, because it's just got all those hundreds upon hundreds of torii gates all the way up the paths of the mountain. We're probably not going to go all the way up there because that's a lot of damn walking for this early in the morning. We are, however, going to check out as much as we can, because last time we were here, there was a typhoon, and most of it was closed down. This place was only nominally open, and we could only go up to like the first of a dozen levels, I think it is. I don't know. We'll find out when we get there, because I don't know how tall this is, because I've only ever seen the bottom. Anyway, go ahead and check it out. Inari is often associated with foxes. Not to say that the god Inari is a fox himself, but represented by these guys who acted as his servants, going around collecting things, information, knowledge, and bringing them back to him. One of the traditions of a shrine of Inari is to lay deep-fried tofu sheets out for the foxes. Hence why we have the sushi called Inari, which is just deep-fried tofu wrapped around rice. Alright, so this is Omokaru Ishi. This is the furthest I've ever been up this mountain for the Fushimi Inari Shrine. Last time, of course, like I said, it was all typhoony, so I couldn't get any further past this. Now I get to see what else I can see, which I'm going to suspect is more torii gates. I was talking before about how Kyoto's tourism industry has suffered a bit, and while you might look around here and see lots and lots of people and lots of school groups coming around here, it's worth knowing that last time we were here, even though it was all typhoony, it was like walking through a subway. You're shoulder to shoulder all the time. Trying to get a picture without people in it, basically a stupid idea. So, you can imagine how much of a mixed blessing this is to have so much space to move around, but know that this is also kind of a problem. One of my favorite things about shrines and tourist destinations in general is that they're lined with tourist traps. And I understand they are tourist traps, but they have some of my favorite things, including food on sticks, and snacks on sticks, and treats on sticks. And yeah, okay, we can eat now. Sticks. Sorry to keep you waiting. Anyway, Wagyu beef and grilled dango. Mm. 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 Well, we left Fushimi Inari and we're now down at Nishiki Market. Fushimi Inari was, of course, the shrine dedicated to the god of wealth and food, and now we're at a market. I guess you could call that a modern shrine to wealth and food. I'm here to eat and give someone else my wealth. In Tokyo, at least, I don't know if it's a common word across Japan, but shotengai is the word for these covered shopping streets, and this one is dedicated to food. And I'm going to guess there's probably other shopping opportunities here too, but as far as I'm concerned, food on sticks. See something?
We did have plans.
All right, ayu on a stick. Fresh grilled. Give me a little bit of vinegar to put on top of it, and as is good manners, we eat it where we buy it, and not walk around with it, because it's pretty crowded. You don't want to walk with somebody while you're eating. This squid is full of roe.
Is he? Oh, look at that.
So we're wandering around through Gion right now. It's normally a bustling. We're on our way up now to Saga Torimoto Preserved Street. I'm going to guess that's a more preserved, traditional looking street. But more importantly, along the way is this bamboo grove that was all mashed up last time we were here because of the typhoon. Not only does it make for a lovely little diversion because it's quiet and it's off the main street, but also, oh my god, there's shade here. The sun is beating down. Holy crap, it is hot out on the main street. I'm just happy to be here right now. Not really sure what we're looking at. I mean, the place definitely has kind of a old-timey feel, but if I'm being honest, a lot of Kyoto has an old-timey feel. And maybe we're just here on the wrong time, but a lot of things are closed if they were ever open. Well, maybe we're just here at the wrong time, but the place is pretty quiet, despite Google Maps saying it would be very busy. And it looks like a lot of the shops are closed. I feel like I'm at the beginning of a horror movie because we seem to have followed a lot of people up here, but there's no one here now, and we never saw anybody come back. So we're on our way back down the mountain. The area up there was quieter than expected. I'm not really sure what we were expecting to find up there. It turned out to be kind of a, I think the best description is pauper's grave. Apparently they found a whole bunch of graves, but they're not really sure whose they were, but in such numbers that it couldn't have just been the wealthy people who could normally afford gravestones. So it was probably just a general cemetery, and then they reconsecrated everything and moved it into neat orderly lines and refer to them now as the Buddha stones. I don't exactly know a whole lot about it. It was very hot, so my brain wasn't working. Anyway, we're heading back down now to the train station to go back into Kyoto proper. Good morning. It is, I guess, Monday morning for me. I'm actually on my way over to the store to buy some food that I can cook up for breakfast while Lacey's off doing some errands of her own. We have a couple of limitations that I'm going to have to work with. First of all, because tonight is our last night in Kyoto and we won't be doing anything else, I'm going to have to buy just enough to minimize the waste, so that, because we can't leave anything behind for people. And we don't really want to throw out a whole lot of stuff either. So I have to keep that in mind. Also, it's pretty early in the morning. It's like 7:30, so I don't know how hungry Lacey's really going to be in the morning. So we'll probably go with something relatively simple. The usual rice, grilled fish, some pickles, maybe some miso soup if I can swing a small enough batch. It's a little too bad because I was hoping to really like go to Nishiki Market, buy a bunch of cool stuff, and throw it all together and make a really creative, really interesting meal and really have some fun with this. But some cooking is better than no cooking, and I'm really looking forward to doing some. Okay, so did our shop run. There's a couple of really simple items in there, a couple of pre-cooked things in there, and some things I'm going to actually have to work on a little bit in there. Hopefully Lacey likes it. Let's get to it. If I'm being honest, this entire breakfast making experience is entirely because I wanted to use this little fish grill. Tastes really good though.
What kind is it, mackerel?
Yep. It's almost like sweet and salty on its own. I only put like a little bit of salt on it. Got a good taste to it.
Yeah. Some more rice.
Yep.
We don't have any pork or fish.
One thing they don't have, however, is a dishwasher. Unless you count me. I guess I am the dishwasher. Well, now that we're all well fed, we decided to go out to Daitokuji, a big temple complex in Kyoto here. And we are standing right now in part of the complex, one of the smaller places called Korean Inn, or Korin's Temple, or Korin's House. not to be, however, mistaken with Corrin's Lookout from Dragon Ball Z, which I may have assumed some connection to. Now, we had been hoping to go to Kyoto, which is also on the complex nearby. However, it is closed for reasons we have yet to figure out because we can't read that much. There's a pretty lengthy sign, and I'm sure it has some kind of description, but it's kind of pointless when you can't read it. So we're wandering around through Gyeon right now. It's normally a bustling street of tea houses and places where you can get entertainment with the geisha and the maiko, and it's usually bustling. But as I am right now, looking around, I can actually, for once, I guess 2 times I've been here, I can look around and see no one else other than Lacey and I. It's kind of crazy. And I think kind of sad. Well, I'm not going to leave it on a downer like that. I am going to say that Kyoto was wonderful, especially staying here at Kay's Villa. Even better since we didn't expect to be staying here. We were going to stay at the hostel, which is normally our go-to here. We're going to be heading out to Osaka now, so I hope to see you there.